move this down. Interesting fact before we start. So this video isn't in widescreen. You can see there's these gaps, these black lines either side of it. This is something I still haven't quite gotten the hang of. I keep producing my videos in the wrong resolutions, which is why my Red Dead Redemption video, it was made in 720p. So to fix it, I basically have to remake the video from scratch on a new timeline that's in 1080p and move all the clips over, which I will do one day. It will probably take a couple... I think to fix that will probably take like a day's work. This, I don't know how this happened. I really don't know how I keep doing this. I'm really bad with computers, but no one ever seemed to notice. This might be the first time you've ever heard of this. That if you notice, this video is not in widescreen, but it doesn't really matter because the quality's fine. I think it's in 720p as well. I don't know how I spend 200 hours on a video that ends up being 720p, even though all the original footage is in 1080. But never mind. So I hope you're all doing well, and we'll just get started, and we'll just see how we get on. Feel free to ask me some questions as we go. Is the audio okay? I'm just going to play a bit of a clip.
We're going pretty close to that start. Captain, I really think you should...
mesh well with me? Is that something that you can hear? Let me move this over. There we go, perfect. Audio is fine. What do you mean fine? Can't you get a bit more enthusiastic than that? Audio is beautifully delicious. There you go, I've finished it for you. So, ha 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 ha, audio is critically acceptable. Very nice. So, there's a bit of background for you. I recorded this the day the video went live, this joke. I recorded the audio, the video, I edited it together, and I put it into the video the day the video went up because I hate myself. I don't do this to myself anymore, but it's just, making these videos takes so long that everything is really last minute. I hated it. It made me very unhappy. I cried the day this video came out because I was so stressed and I was kind of like, I can't keep doing this to myself. I can't keep pushing myself this hard. I was just like, I'm just so stressed I can't even cope. So I don't really do that anymore. Which is for the best, of course. Sorry, I was sniffling. I only play Elite Dangerous when I stream it now, so I don't really play this game as much as I used to in the past. Do we have desktop audio? Should we? No, I was going to play some FTL while I did this, but it might ruin things. Let's try it. Let's go to Spotify. Let's play some FTL soundtrack while we do this. We might as well. So this video has been demonetized for obvious reasons. I'm trying to... I think... No, maybe it hasn't. I don't know. I'm trying to remember what the reason would have been so I could point it out as we go. But fuck knows, who really knows. Let's put on the FTL soundtrack and get started. I'm taking my time. This is my usual rambling self. So some background for this. We're also in the tutorial stage. Every time I fly into a sun in a video and you see me, I'm in the tutorial stage because I don't want to destroy my ship. There we go. There we are, that's nice. So you can load up and you do a tutorial where you do some basic like jumping. Can you hear that? Yeah, you should be able to hear that. Keep it nice and chill, let me just turn it down slightly. The music is a bit loud. There we go. So, the music's distracting me because I love it so much. This is the tutorial area, and what you basically do is it's the tutorial where you jump from sector to sector, and it teaches you how to do it. It's quite annoying. Doing this was quite annoying because the message telling you to like turn around comes up because it's a tutorial. So you have to I have to film these bits in between that thing popping up. And that's it really. So I was just flying into the sun. You can't. And here's another thing: you can't kill yourself or blow up the ship by driving into a sun. Because the game doesn't allow you to fly into a sun, it stops you. Like your ship thing kicks in, it stops you, and then you immediately do an emergency stop. And then if you fly towards the sun, obviously flying towards the sun on thrusters, it's going to take like a couple of days. So the ship doesn't get hotter and hotter. So yeah, Viridance says you've got to activate silent running. So it's all the magic of... and then you cook really fast, yeah. It's the magic of Special effects. I'm not sure if you turn silent running on, even in the middle of dead space. I think if you're in the middle of nowhere, I still think you overheat and explode because it's just your system's overheating. I'm sure someone will tell me if that's anywhere you will cook. Thank you. So yeah, you can do that anywhere. So I don't get closer and closer to the sun as the scene goes on. Let's just watch it before I explain it.
Captain, are you sure about this? I think we're going pretty close to that star. Captain, I really think you should think about turning around. Captain, oh my God! If you've heard of it.
Right, okay. Very good. Yeah, so as that goes on, we're getting closer to the star. I think I just keep activating my super drive, or whatever the fuck it's called, and get slightly closer each time. So I'm never in the distance that it will stop you from getting towards. I think the final shot is the closest. Probably this one is the closest you can get.
About turning around, Captain. Oh my!
I want to see that. I want to show you. Can I get that? Let's try that again.
Round.
Yeah, there we go.
Captain.
Yeah, so I don't show you this console. So as you can see, it's all blowing up. The only way to do this is to turn on silent running. So I'm effectively killing myself.
Captain, oh my God! If you've heard of Elite
shit.
Dangerous, you'll probably have heard mixed things about it. But of course you've heard.
Right, there we go. We're okay. So I'm losing my mind, honestly. Right.
Think about turning around, Captain.
Right, there we go. Oh no, we've caught the system. I don't think you can see that silent running is on anywhere here. So the reason, perfect. The reason this guy has no head is because in VR. You're sitting in this chair and you're looking down at your body, so you can see your hands and your chest. But obviously, if you had a head here, it would be in the way. The nose would get in the way of your vision. Something a lot of games haven't managed to master. Like one of the ones that I compared to World of Warcraft in my part 1 or part 2 of my every VR game is a nightmare. You had a head. So if you look down, you could see your chin, and if you lean back, your eyes would pop out. So that was really weird. I don't know why games do that, but I think it's just probably one of the technological difficulties. I had to I really wasn't sure when I was in such a rush when as I said, I did this the day the video came out. I wasn't sure if you could see if this was obvious, if you know what I mean, that this guy had no head. I was like, umming and ahhing whether or not the joke was good enough. I was thinking of cutting out and not using it all, but I think you can basically tell that the captain's head is missing. Let's watch it.
Pretty close to that star. Captain, I really think you should think about turning around. Captain, oh my God! If you've heard of it.
I think that's okay. I think it's obvious there's no face there. I was never really sure. There you are. There you are. So that's that summed up. I probably won't have a lot to say about the rest of this. So the general theme of this video, I think it had 2 themes. The first theme being giving a game a review is stupid, because this game's got like 6 out of 10, which is absurd, because it's not a good or a bad game. It's just a game that fulfills a very specific want in people to fly around in space, it be quite realistic, slow paced. There's no fair way to review this. It's like trying to review fucking Mario Maker. I'm about to do a review on Mario Maker and kind of try and make this point again. Mario Maker has 8.5 out of 10 on Metacritic. So it's 8.5 out of 10 good at being a game where you make Mario levels. Like, it's either, yeah, this is pretty good, or no, this isn't very good. You know what I mean? The tool is fine. It fucking works. There's an insight to my next video, but there you go. Anyway, right, let's get started. So as you can see, this is probably me making that point.
Dangerous, you'll probably have heard mixed things about it. But of course you've heard mixed fucking things. Scoring this game out of 10 is like scoring your favorite protozoic organisms out of 10. No, that just isn't for me. Perfection.
Really weirdly, I wanted to cut all of this out as well. This almost did, none of that almost, let me turn the music down a little bit, it's bothering me. None of that made it into the video because I didn't think it was funny. Protozoic organisms doing the perfection meme, none of that is particularly funny in my opinion, but I'm glad I kept it in. It's just, I don't know, I'm really hard on myself about my videos. I'm basically like, if every second isn't hilarious, then it's bad, but I want to kind of get to the point where I'm like, well, maybe, if it's entertaining, it doesn't have to be hilarious. One thing I'm going to try and do to try and lower the production value, the production time of my videos, is appear on camera a little bit more and just talk and present the episode in between editing and stuff, just to try and streamline things and see how that goes. A little bit more camera work, because I'm sick of the videos taking so long. I'm beginning to not have fun making them, so I'm going to try that. But anyway, me rambling.
Scoring things out of 10 nowadays is just categorically wrong anyway. It's fucking irrelevant. For example, I recently saw
I tell you, finding that was hard.
things out of 10 nowadays is just categorically...
Finding a really obvious... it took me ages. I was like, I want to find a series of scores, but that are kind of like obvious, that they change over time. And this is a really good clip. It took me ages to find out. Just thought I'd mention that. I probably spent about half an hour just searching IGN and shit, looking for this sort of image, and it's perfect.
Categorically wrong anyway. It's fucking irrelevant. For example, I recently saw Jumanji and I loved every second of it because I could watch Dwayne Johnson balance his checkbook all afternoon and I'd be on cloud fucking 9. I don't need a critic to tell me this film is... It's the same.
Right, look how awful I look. This is a good movie. I recommend watching it. I don't really know what point I was trying to make here. But look at me. What's going on here? What's wrong with my hair? Why haven't I shaved? What the fuck is happening? Look, why is my hair so long? Wait, I'm gonna turn off the FTL music now because we're into the things. I guess the point I was trying to make there was, I would watch a documentary about Dwayne Johnson's life and really enjoy it, even if it was about... Do you know, Terry Crews got addicted... I know I'm just picking another black masculine man, but it just reminded me of him. My other favourite actor was addicted to porn. And I was watching an interview with him because I'm really interested in his life. He is a ridiculous person. He wakes up at like 7 a.m. And 7 a.m. He wakes up at like 4 a.m. and just exercises until he eats, and he doesn't eat till 2. So he's insane. Anyway, I was gonna say, he was addicted to porn, and then he was like, it caused me to cheat on my wife, and now I have a new wife, and I'm very happy, and I don't watch porn. I don't think anyone should watch porn anymore because it's unhealthy for the mind. And whatever you think about that, that's just an insane series of facts for a man who clearly has it all together. Even he can be a victim of addiction. So we should all be nice to each other. I don't know what point I'm trying to make here either. Let's continue about my video about Elite Dangerous. Again, this is still sort of comedy, referential comedy. A joke about something that is already an established joke. So this isn't a very clever joke, but I still think it's probably quite funny. Continue.
It's the same idea for games. Like, take Elite Dangerous. What's relevant here? What do you want from this specific game? Do you want to experience space travel? To learn what it's like in the quiet episodes of Star Trek between Riker talking about his dick? If you want to experience what it would really be like to explore the vast emptiness and desolation of space, Elite Dangerous gives you this in spades. And
So I just wanted to stop there.
in VR, I can tell you it's fucking terrifying.
All right, let's go back then. That spades bit, right? I don't really have a lot to say about that. I watch a lot of Star Trek around this point. I did the same thing in my Beat Saber video. You can tell I'm watching a lot of Star Trek. I'm gonna do a video. I don't know if I've mentioned this. I'm really excited and I really want to do this, but I'm gonna have to do it as a very brief part of an overarching video, where I review. Let me just check my phone. I'm hearing... Where's my phone? Sorry, I'm sure you wouldn't expect me to say that. I just want to make sure no one's at the door. I put my phone onto loud. There we go. What was I saying? I have no idea. Where I want to review Fallout 3 versus Fallout New Vegas and compare them to Star Trek The Next Generation and Star Trek Deep Space Nine and say how they're both very similar. Deep Space Nine and New Vegas are both really similar, and they both have an actor that is in both of them that's the same person, and I really want to do that. And then do the same thing with Fallout 3 and compare that to The Next Generation. I think they're really similar because I love Star Trek and I really love all of those games, and I really see a very direct similarity between them. But the problem is no one will know what I'm talking about because no one's seen any of this stuff. So anyway, but yeah, right. Veridance has asked me a question, but I'm just going to answer this in a second.
Vast emptiness and desolation of space. Elite Dangerous gives you this in space.
The amount of work I put into this fucking section was absurd. Now, I think what happened was... let me just try and catch it. I can't... slow this. What I originally did in this spades bit, this took like 2 hours, right? Because what I originally did was had all the spades. I can't believe this. Right, so I had all the spades in the middle, and there was the same number. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They went that way, that way, that way, that way, and that way. So there were 5, spread out. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then frame by frame, I edited them so that they were outside the ship. So this spade, you wouldn't be able to see this bit here. This spade, you wouldn't be able to see, this part and up here. So so basically, the framework of the ship would have cut it out. Oh, people are giving me help. Dot and comma. Thank you, guys. Oh, amazing. There we go. Thank you. You guys know more than me. So they all started in the center here, and then frame by frame, I had them come out in like an explosion like that, and then I removed. So like say here, this you wouldn't be able to see the handle because this was in the way, and then that was the shot, and then I did that. I edited it all in. Like this spade, for example, you wouldn't be able to see the handle because obviously the ship's in the way, and then I watched it back after spending literally an hour doing it frame by frame, and then I was like, because there was so much of this, you couldn't even tell they were spades because they started here and it all basically disappeared behind the fucking framework. So I was like, well, that was a waste of time, wasn't it? And then I re-edited it, as you can see, to be a lot more simpler, where they all just start in different spots. So it was a lot more obvious that it was a spade. That was why I had the big spade going across the screen, because I was paranoid. I've broken the video. That you wouldn't know it was a spade. So I was like, I'm going to make a big spade. The video is broken. I like to make... I had H Bomber guy here, and he said to me, we were doing a stream together, and I showed him the video. It was just finishing off, and he said, and this is going to stick in my soul, and I'm going to fix this, because I work too hard for no payoff. He said, you work hard, not smart. Sorry. You work hard, not smart. But he said it like, oh my God, you work hard, not smart. And I was like, oh my God, don't say that. Please. And then he was like, you need to use After Effects for a lot of this shit. It will save you a lot of time. So I'm going to start learning how to do that. Let me just refresh this. I bet we're going to have to watch an ad now.
Greetings, friends.
No,
Let's
go
play
away.
a game. What if you download League of Legends?
I don't
right
want
now?
League of
Start playing
Legends.
with it,
Skip button. I can't
and you're
see where it
immediately
is.
hooked. You quickly learn how it works.
The quiet episodes of Star Trek between Riker talking about his dick. If you want to experience what it would really be like to explore the vast emptiness, tell you
League
it's
of
fucking
Legends.
terrifying. Tell you
Right.
it's fuck.
Also, right, so Veridance said that when I watched this, I was like, whoa, this guy has a lot of cool ships, but you borrowed a lot of this footage, didn't you? Oh, I see. Yes. I mean, all the VR... Let me just... Thank you. I don't know why I'm typing this. Someone has suggested a good place to learn how to use After Effects in Video Copilot. I will do that. I don't know why I typed that. Right, anyway, this is stolen from Yahtzee, I'm fairly sure. And this sort of style of saying one thing and having a facetious text on screen to back it up. We haven't even watched a minute of this, and this streams are going on for 20 minutes.
Spades. And in VR, I can tell you it's fucking terrifying.
I've ruined the joke. I'm fairly certain that's stolen, like that idea I inspired from Yahtzee. And speaking of that,
And I'm not joking.
so that bit.
And in VR, I can tell you it's fucking terrifying.
This is footage I stole. Yes, people in the chat are aware that I did this. The reason for this is I'm being intercepted by the... If I say this long enough, someone will finish my sentence in the chat. Intercepted, one of them, by the Thargoid, thank you, by the alien race in the game. And obviously getting footage of that happening is very unlikely. This is when you are jumping between star systems and the Thargoid interject you, or intercept. Interject, yeah, let's call it that. Fuck it. So I went online and was like, oh, Thargoid interjection. Interdict. Interdict. I don't know which. Apparently it's interdict. Anyway, when they get you, when the aliens get you, this happens, and it's really intense and terrifying. And in VR, I imagine it's every time I jump, I'm scared of it happening in VR. So I stole this footage from someone. I'm sure they don't mind. I also added, if you listen, now here's where I go above and beyond the Call of Duty. You lucky fuckers. There's a bit where you hear a little crashing sound, like dum, and you'll notice that the screen shakes. And I added that to make the effect more pronounced if we watch it.
Tell you, it's fucking terrifying. And I'm not.
You see those little shakes the screen's doing? I added those. Let me turn the sound off. You see it's shaking. And that's to make the effect even more pronounced to go with my screaming. So there's another 2 minutes wasted that people probably don't notice. But there you go. I don't think I have anything else to say. The scream.
And I'm not.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything to add there. Sometimes when the screams don't sound very good, I play two at the same time, but I think that was just one scream. Anyway, let's go back. This is footage I did take. This is my footage. All the VR footage I took. Everything where my head is looking around, I did take it. I didn't steal it. That makes it sound nice. I recorded it myself, not took it. I recorded the VR footage myself, and all the other, when there's a lot of stuff like, quite hard stuff to see, then I would have gone online, because it takes hours to find stuff in this game, and I just don't have time. I think I recorded this. Okram9 asks, how many takes did you make of you screaming? I do quite a lot of them. It's quite hard to get one that sounds good, because the thing about screaming, I think I might have mentioned this before, is to sound genuinely scared is quite hard, because part of you is always holding you back, and you're like, ah, and it's like a fake scream. But to really like let go and scream as if you are terrified is quite difficult for a couple of reasons. One, because it hurts your throat if you do it too much, so you have to get it right quite quickly. The other reason it's quite difficult is because you're quite conscious of that, because if anyone hears, it's quite, it is quite scary. That scream wasn't that realistic, but later on when I'm doing like real screams, and I'm just like, ah! Like that's the sort of thing you would call the police if you heard someone screaming that way, because it's very convincing. But it's quite hard to you have to fully let go. I find it very easy to let go and do it. It's just the embarrassment holding me back, that if there's someone in the house or my neighbors can hear me, I'm just a little bit embarrassed. But other than that, it's a technique that I don't think is very hard. You just have to let go of your ego or your embarrassment around it. But anyway, sorry.
Not joking in the slightest. 35 hours in, and this game still genuinely scares the life out of me.
Yeah, and the other theme is that the game is scary. I talk about that a lot in this. No, generally the main themes of this are speed, fear, and giving a game a score. And I talk about it a lot throughout the whole video. I keep coming back to it. This was back when I tried to make sure every video had a consistent theme that came up numerous times throughout it. And I'm going to try and bring that back with my Mario video, which you will see soon. I'm working on the script now.
It's really relaxing here.
Oxygen critical.
What? Play this game in VR.
This is another example.
The life out of me. It's really relaxing here.
Oxygen critical.
Like, to do this, I just had to turn off my oxygen unit. Oh, 1 second. He's behind the scenes. Hello? Are you at the door? Do you need me? I'm streaming. Do you need me to come and open it? I've got your key. Right, audience. I'll just be 1 second. Right, the stream isn't quite over yet. We're going to have to wait. That's not very polite, is it? And then my pants. I put my phone on. Because I knew that this would happen. Right, sorry. Ah! I left the house without my key this morning, so Emma gave me mine, and now she's back and she doesn't have hers. Sorry. I'm a bad boy. That was my fiance. I put her through her paces. Right. Yes, so to do this effect, I had to turn the oxygen off myself. So it's another thing where it's like, these things don't really happen very easily. So it's just like me trying. To be honest, actually, because I was still so new with the game, I really wanted Oxygen Critical like that as a joke, and I couldn't work out how to fucking do it. Yeah, so people are talking about scan detected. That was really, I really don't remember how I got the audio for that, because like catching myself getting scanned by another ship takes hours. You know, you have to fly around and you have to fly around the stations. And I think in the end what I did was I left the game on for an hour just with the game recording, and then ran through the footage really quickly because an image appears on screen saying scan detected. So I just waited by a station or by an asteroid belt until it happened. So I think that's how I got it. So I was just like, well, I'll just leave this for an hour. It was this video was very hard to make because these things that you see are all quite rare, or a lot of the locations take a very long time to get to. So no, it wasn't fun. It was very hard, but I'm very happy with how it turned out. Anyway, sorry, I'm just rambling away. So to get the Oxygen Critical, I had to turn off the module on the right for my oxygen generation unit, which is how I got that to happen. Continue.
What? Play this game in VR and you'll join me in my unconventional fear of the sun. Oh my god!
Damn you, son!
I can't say how...
Shit, there it is. There's the thing that everyone went mad over for some reason. I haven't even got... Let's go back.
And you'll join me in my unconventional fear of the sun. Oh my god!
Damn you, son! So the audio for that is terrible because this... Back then, obviously, I didn't have a wireless microphone. I'm not even wearing the same clothes that I'm wearing in the scenes you've seen me in before. I've changed clothes. The audio is bad. But the cool thing is that I've really learned that this stuff doesn't matter. The video quality isn't very good because it's a cheap camera. Video quality, audio quality, polish. None of it is really that necessary because this really took off, this video, and that joke especially. And this was like the lowest production part of the whole thing. But maybe that's what makes it. You know, there's a very... it's like, I mean... Not to name drop JonTron again, but his early videos, the quality is very poor, like the audio quality and the video quality. But the comedy, I think, is so much better than his most recent videos, which I'm not a huge fan of. It's something to it. I think it's a funny thing. Like when people start YouTube channels, they're like, right, I have to get the audio perfect. I have to get all the right equipment. I have to get all the highest end cameras. It's like, no, you don't. You need to use what you've got and just make something. That's the most important thing for anyone trying to do something creative, is to just make stuff. You know, don't delay it because you don't think you have the right computer or the right camera. The most important thing is to get stuff made, and then as time goes on, you'll get a better feel for this sort of thing. Nothing you do at the start is going to be perfect, and that's sometimes a good thing, because the less perfect it is, the more you'll learn. And I think that's quite hard. You know, YouTube has a very high standard for videos. It's like, oh, I didn't like this video, so you're a failure and you're shit. And it's like, well, not really. Like, you got to start somewhere. It's like my earliest videos, like my earliest game reviews. I got a lot of really horrible messages from people being like, you should give up at this. You know, you're a hack. You'll never be able to do this. But those are just people who are just, they don't want you to succeed because they haven't succeeded in their life. And when they see someone trying to succeed, they'll push you down. And that's what it is, like on, you know, the internet, on comments and Reddit. It's other people trying to stop you from becoming good, because you won't be good at the start, and people pushing back at you are trying to stop you because they are jealous because you are trying to do something with your life and they want to push you back, or they're just dicks, you know. There's also that. But I think people are jealous of people who are trying to make a creative career, because, you know, they'll say things like, you should do something more. I can't believe you're doing this with your life. You should do something more with your life. And it's like, well, what do you fucking class as a worthwhile expenditure of your time? And what, like, everyone reads Harry Potter. You know, and that's a waste of time, but everyone loves it. So anyway, right, I'm getting very carried away. Let's watch one more scene and then we'll stop there. I'm getting a new t-shirt made for those who enjoyed the most recent video of me in the rocket suit. I'm going to get a similar t-shirt made. Well, I'm going to get a t-shirt, and it's going to be a nice t-shirt. I've got a very good artist working on it, a very, very good artist. Just going to make a t-shirt of me wearing that rocket suit. So that'll be fun. And I don't think there'll be any writing on it. It'll just be like a nice, high-quality, well-designed bit of art. So I'm looking forward to that. And that should be coming out in the next couple of weeks, the artwork at least. So I'll keep you informed. Sorry.
I can't say how true this is for the non-VR version of the game, as I haven't actually played it that much, but it seems to me that turning this game into such a convincing VR experience is a little bit sinister, because I am not trained to deal with this kind of psychological pressure. What the fuck's going on? Why is this happening? Let's move back a little and talk about the steps you'll have to take to get in.
Again, that wasn't me flying that ship. That was I went online and just found someone getting pulled out of hyperdrive space because I couldn't be bothered to try and get it to happen to me, because that's quite rare as well.
To this game and decide whether or not it's for you. To play this game properly, you're going to want to get a joystick because you need a device as
Okay, cool. I think I'll leave it at that. The guy who made this music interdicted. That's a weird word, interdicted. Interdicted out of frame shift. This was back when I did title cards. I feel like they're a waste of time. I don't think I've said this before. I do. The thing is I do really like them. This is from because I'm such a big fan of Egoraptor's series Sequelitis, and he did that for all of it. I might bring them back, maybe in the Mario Maker video. How about that? I'd like to do that. Yeah, there's a low delay on this stream because very little is happening. It's just a static screen. But we'll leave it at that. I'm really enjoying doing this. This whole video, we've made it through 1 minute 30 of the fucking of the whole video, and it's a 16-minute video. So we'll look forward to part 20 of this series. God, I can talk, can't I? Jesus Christ. Thank you all for watching. I've had a really lovely time with you. I'm going to go and have a glass of wine. What time is it? No. Oh, it's 6:30. Perfect. There you go. My stomach is in knots. I fell asleep today for 2 hours on the sofa. I didn't mean to. After eating half a tub of ice cream and a load of cheese. I had like cheese, bread, and salad as a main for lunch, and then I ate half a tub of ice cream and then immediately fell asleep, and my stomach is fucking very upset with me because I lay down after eating all that dairy. But anyway, I'll see you all soon. See you next week. I know this is supposed to be on Thursdays at around about 2 hours previous to now. That's sort of the time I have planned. It's just I've been away. I've been on holiday. So there you go. So that's that. I think that's everything. Cool. Bye, everyone. Thank you. I think you're all very lovely.